Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
So here we go on a beautiful spring Tuesday. It is time for the Tuesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show, of course, broadcasting live right here inside beautiful Hurricane Jointed Creek. You know it by now, right at the foot of the Jointed Creek Bridge in the heart of Manhattan. Boy, if you're in the area, if you are heading home, going by this way, if you're just in the area, maybe you're off today, looking for a place to hang out. They'll have trivia later tonight. Great menu. Wonderful just hang out. Family friendly. You can't go wrong. Hurricane Jointed Creek, the Tuesday location for the Young and Norvelle Show. Over 30 flavors of when you have wings in your name, in the name of your restaurant, you better be good at what you do when you say a Hurricane Grill and Wings, and they are. Over 30 different flavors of sauces you can have on your wings. Of course, they are wings are the signature, but not the only thing. As you see this massive menu, great burgers, quesadillas, salad starters, depending on how heavy you want to go. How about some of the flavors? Classic buffalo, ridiculously hot, extra hot, medium, mild, garlic parm, chipotle BBQ. How about traditional barbecue, honey barbecue, Asian inspired, sweet side? It goes on and on. If it's a flavor, even if you have never had it and you want to put it together, they'll mix some flavors, I guarantee you, here at Hurricane Jointed Creek, our Tuesday home. I hope to hear from Patrick Young a little bit later. We're also going to talk a lot of baseball today, Major League Baseball and even college baseball. We'll take a look at, and I know we're only, 16, 17 games into the Major League season. Are there any trends? The Braves still struggling. The Dodgers, the undefeated Dodgers, we thought they were going to go 162-0. Well, they've hit a rough patch. The Dodgers don't look down. They're nowhere near the top of their division. We'll talk some Major League Baseball. SEC baseball, we'll take a look at the SEC baseball schedule. They are halfway through. They played 30 conference games. Everybody's right at 15 now. We'll take a look at the SEC baseball standings, halfway home in conference play. And we'll also take a kind of a big lap around college baseball in the state of Florida. How are the Gators faring? How are the Seminoles faring? And how are the Hurricanes faring? We'll do that as we go today. I want to give an update. I've tracked this thing for a long time. I think they just burn money, they being the UFL. What's going on with the UFL? They are 4 games in. I guess they're coming up on week 4. We'll take a look at the numbers, the attendance. Is the UFL, do they have a chance? Are they just destined to, and you know me, I'm not a negative guy per se, but I'm an honest guy. And I've often said spring football, if the NFL hasn't figured out that there is a viable moneymaker when it comes to football in the spring, the NFL has never dipped their toe in it. Well, that tells me a lot. It just is a tough road to hoe. We'll talk about the UFL, the most recent UFL. I've got some numbers from week 3, and they are not pretty. 4:35, as I mentioned, we'll talk some Major League Baseball. Our buddy Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated. He is the baseball publisher for SI, really knows the game of baseball. We'll bounce around the league and see if there are any trends, things like that. The NFL draft coming up on a week away. We're closing in on a week. This Thursday will be 1 week away from the NFL draft, and I thought it was interesting. And we can kind of lead off on this. But before we do all that, today producing the show is our buddy Ben Dobbins. Ben, we have not heard from you for a while. You've been parts unknown, weight unknown, parts unknown. I don't know what the hell you've been doing. I think you've been studying, but Ben Dobbins, and you fire yourself up and say hello if you're truly in the studio producing. Oh, Ben is there. Hey, buddy.
How's it going? Long time no talk.
Good. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Long time, man. We have Ben is one of our consistent producers, and he fills in here and there and picks up some shifts when he can. And Ben, you're also wrapping up UNF, right? You're about done.
Yep. I think like 3 weeks until I graduate.
And that diploma, what will it say? Degree in what?
Sport management, and
Sport management.
I don't know if it says the minors on
All right.
diplomas.
Okay, sport management's your main thing.
Yep.
Was that a tough major? Were you prepared for it? Did you know anything about it going in? Talk to me about it.
I always knew I wanted to be in sports, so obviously I went there. And then there was not many sports management programs, just I think UF, FSU, and then UNF. That's the only 3 in Florida. So I looked in who had it, and yeah.
Now, before you answer this one, Ben, always remember God and Santa are always listening. Okay, did you graduate magna cum this or magna cum that? Magna Hada,
It's
magna,
something.
magna.
I have something, one of those. I have. I don't know. I had
Are
pretty
you a
good
guy
grades, yeah.
Are you a guy that if you got a C, you were unhappy with that course?
Now, not in college. I probably in high school, yeah, but not.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy with it because I know it's like my last year. No one's gonna look at grades. Let's be honest. No one cares. So
Yeah, but you were more. You strike me as an AB guy, kind of an AB guy.
yeah, in high school I
Right.
was definitely, and in pretty much in
Right.
college, 99% of the time too. But there was a couple classes where I got C's and I didn't really mind.
Okay, now was that lack of effort, or sometimes a subject matter just doesn't grab you, or what was it?
That sometimes it just doesn't like I
Yeah.
don't find it interesting or I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah.
I have a really bad forgetting issue of assignments. I've done that before, and yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. And are you still doing some officiating? You're a referee for the intramurals over there at UNF. Still doing that?
I think that ends Thursday. And then I'm done with that.
Oh boy. Have you had to run any? Have you thrown anybody out of the game? Have you had to pitch them? Yeah, you're out of here.
I
You can't
haven't.
say that to me.
I have
Yeah.
not. One of my other refs went
Have y'all had
roughing
anybody
the
run
pass,
out?
but nope. I'll be
Really?
reffing in the I'll be reffing in UNF Arena on Thursday, which will be fun.
Okay, basketball.
Yep.
Basketball.
Not that good
So
at
wait a minute,
basketball.
let me back up. You were doing a football game, and one of your other referees on your team threw somebody out.
It was
That happened?
basketball. It was yesterday actually
Oh,
during the playoffs.
yesterday you had your guy had to run. Now, can you set the stage? What happened? Was it a flying elbow? Was it a travel call?
just a guy-
What was it?
Just a guy tempers. He got 2 techs. And that was it.
Were they because of his verbal abuse,
Verbal,
slamming
yeah,
the ball
yeah.
down?
Like
What?
talking, like
Yeah, verbal
just
can't do that.
just talking.
Now, was this guy a hothead all season?
I don't remember reffing him too much. He was nice. He's a good guy. I mean, he wasn't like a bad, like he didn't come out and was mad after the fact that he was thrown out. He was
Yeah.
fine with it. They were already winning too, so it doesn't really matter too much.
So after the second technical, did y'all run him out of the game? Did he have to leave the court? Or
He
No.
left on his own. He
Yeah.
wasn't mad.
Yeah.
He knew.
did his team win still?
Yeah. It was close. I thought the game was going to be a blowout, but it was only like I think it was like a 2-point game. But they
Ben,
were up by
Ben.
10.
Going back to God and Santa are always listening. Ben Dobbins, with that as the backdrop, would you have the you-know-whats to throw a guy out if you had to? Would you
Probably
say
not.
that's enough?
No.
You're out of here.
No, I didn't give a guy a tech at all. They were screaming at me, and I didn't care. It doesn't affect me too much.
Yeah.
I find it funny that they're just like
Do
cursing
you,
at me too much.
we'll stay with basketball. When you're officiating basketball, as we just got through March Madness, so it's appropriate. Do you find that you are a quick whistle guy, or are you a let them play guy?
Let him play. I'm not that good at reffing basketball, anyways. But so sometimes it definitely is a foul, and I miss it 100%. I'm definitely way better at reffing football than basketball.
Nice. Getting back to the UNF guy that had 2 technicals, was it? I think you said yesterday.
Yep.
Going back to Florida's national championship win over Houston a week ago Monday. I don't have a stat for sure, but I can't. I would imagine there have not been many national championship teams that won their championship final game to win the championship, and they had 2 technical fouls. Florida, do you realize Florida had 2 technical fouls in the championship game and still won? That's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. That's at least 2 free throws. I think they took more than that, depending on it, because one of them was a bench technical, one of them was a player. But so you're giving up 3 or 4 free throws and 2 different possessions. That's hard to do in a tight ball game.
Get the ball back too, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough to do. And Florida beat Houston with. Now the first one, the big center for Florida, Chinyelu, he spiked the ball on the court. That's he got a tech and he deserved a tech. And there's no great area. I mean, he took the ball. It might have been a bit of a bad call, I think, on Chinyelu, but you can't react and spike the ball, and certainly they teed him up. The second technical that night, and Ben, you may have seen it, and I may be preaching to the choir, but Florida, I thought it was a little bit of a bad call, and the Florida bench erupted, and they got a call on the bench. I'm assuming too many dirty words were thrown, and yeah, it's hard to win a tight basketball game if your team got called for 2 technicals and the other team no technicals to balance it out.
Yeah. You got three points basically, and at that level it is basically 3 points. I mean, not many. It's a bunch of free throws.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Houston made a few of those. They might have missed one. I think they got 4, at least 3. The court technical might have been just 1 shot in possession. The bench technical might have been 2. I think you might get punished more if your bench gets a technical than a player. Anyway.
Usually just 1.
Ben's a bit of You're a bit of a changing topics here on you. You're a big Miami Dolphins fan. Obviously, the draft is a week from Thursday. I don't know if you saw. There was a list that came out yesterday. 17 players have pretty much announced, and I guess you've got to get in. I guess you've got to get invited. The NFL, you just can't say I'm draft eligible. I played college football. I'm going to show up in Green Bay in the green room. No pun intended. Looks like 17 players have been invited and have accepted to be in the green room. One of those players is Mason Graham, and I don't know, Ben, if you followed it. It looks like all indications, unless there's a smokescreen or an 11th hour deal, it looks like all indications are the Jaguars are going to go ahead and take the fire plug defensive tackle from Michigan. Is that how you're feeling this thing? If you followed it much?
Yeah. Unless somehow, some way, like Travis Hunter falls or something like that is the only way, I think. But I don't think he's going to.
Yeah.
But you never know.
And I also thought there was something. I thought there was something really telling today when that list came. It might have been yesterday when I saw the list. 17 people have said they'll be there, and no Shedeur Sanders. And a couple things I want to throw this out, and then Ben, get your thoughts on this. So Shedeur Sanders came out yesterday/today and said he will not be in the green room in Green Bay at the draft. And 17 players are going. Now, today, you also heard that the Giants, who draft, 4th? The Giants are pretty high.
Yeah.
The Giants supposedly are bringing him in for a workout, for whatever that's worth. But the first thought I got, Ben, when I heard Shedeur Sanders has passed on, he is not going to the green room, that makes me wonder, and a lot of people wonder, is he getting intel that says it might be a long night next Thursday? The worst thing in the world is to sit in that green room and think you're going to get called in the first 5, 6, 7, 8 picks, and you don't get called at 9, and you don't get called. Remember Aaron Rodgers sat in the green room for 21 picks? And I wonder if Shedeur Sanders, and Ben, I don't know if you follow it close enough, there's a lot of talk now between the end of the college season and where we're at now that Shedeur Sanders, his stock is falling. His playing stock, and word is he might be coming off as immature and not interviewing real well. I wonder if this is Shedeur Sanders' way of saying, you know what, I'm probably going to go in the first round, but I don't know if I want to be in that green room and they have 13 and 14 and 15 picks and I haven't been taken yet. I don't want to sit in that green room for 2.5 hours with the camera on me, seeing how disappointed I am. I wonder, what do you thought? Am I overthinking this here?
No,
What
I
do you
don't think
think?
you are. I think you nailed it. I mean, there's gonna be cameras all over him, obviously, because of the name value. So no matter what, even if
Yeah.
he goes high, people are gonna be like, oh, well, that's obvious. He's a quarterback. Or if he goes low, then all the attention's gonna be on him no matter what. So I think, yeah, he probably doesn't want the attention all over him. And if it does fall, it just looks bad for him. And if he doesn't fall, it doesn't look good for him. It's just where he
Yeah.
should be.
You know, it appears he's covering his base. That he and his camp have some inside intel. The interesting thing with quarterbacks, though, Ben, Cam Ward, it looks like he's going one. It really looks like that's pretty set, right?
I could see Abdul Carter going
Cam
one,
Ward.
but
Yeah, it could be an upset there, but it looks like Cam Ward's
yeah, I
going to.
agree.
Well, let's put it this way: Cam Ward's going to be the first quarterback take,
100%.
and probably number one.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of the 17 people that are going to show up in the green room, how about quarterback Jackson Dart, Ole Miss?
I like him.
Quarterback Jalen Milroe, Alabama. So Ward, Milroe, and Dart will be in the green room. We're very confident that Ward's going to be the first quarterback. What does that say? And then Sanders, you know, only so many players are going to go at one position in the first, 15, 16 picks. It really sounds like that the Sanders camp is hearing, our stock might be falling. And you know what? If Sanders gets drafted, let's just say 12, 13, or 14, it doesn't matter if he's in the green room or not, right? But if he's not in the green room, that means he might not have to have those awkward hour and 45 minutes because getting 12 picks deep, it's going to be kind of a late night in that first round.
Yeah, I think there's a chance Jackson Dart jumps him in the QB drafted.
Yeah.
But I don't think Milroe does. I think Shedeur would go in front of Milroe,
Yeah.
rightfully so.
Milroe surprised me. Could I see Milroe going first round? Yes. But I think if Milroe goes first round, there's going to be a 2 in front of his number, his name, right? 21, 22.
Oh, yeah.
Milroe's not a top 10 guy, right?
I don't think he's going in the first
Milroe
round
from
at all.
Alabama.
I don't see him going in the first round.
Okay.
I can't lie. I don't think this quarterback's strong enough for 4 quarterbacks to go in the first round.
I know. I'm with you. I don't think it's a really strong quarterback first round pool. I don't think it's really. That's just my opinion. I'm with you though. I like Jackson Dart. I've always liked him. I think Dart. He's physical. I think he's got some escapability. I think he's got a good, solid arm. But Dart to me kind of has it. And you know what I mean by it? Sometimes it's not definable, but you can tell when you see it. He's kind of got that, and I like it in my quarterback. He's kind of got a little bit of that backyard sandlot, no rules, just get the ball in the end zone kind of thing. And they all don't have that.
I think Cam Ward
I
probably
also
has
like
it too.
Dart. He can. Cam Ward has it. I think he does as well. Some quarterbacks, they are really, 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 really good when the play comes off to script, right? When the play is called and the ball is snapped and the protection does what they're supposed to do and the route is run and the steps are taken and the ball is delivered. Well, football doesn't always play to script.
Yep.
I think Jackson Dart, a lot like Cam Ward, I think they both can create and they can extend. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is a great athlete.
Yeah,
I think he's an average athlete.
Yeah, I agree. He stays in the pocket too long too.
Yeah.
Gets sacked so much.
Yeah. Staying with the quarterbacks here for this first segment, do you think Milroe is benefiting from a little bit of, man, he looks like body type and everything. He looks like the Philly quarterback, Jalen
Hurts.
Jalen
Hurts.
The Eagles quarterback.
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts. I mean, body type, structure. They look alike, don't they? Is he benefiting from that a little bit? He's another Hurts. I don't know.
Both,
Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama. I mean, Hurts went to Oklahoma, but yeah, basically.
And and Lord knows I saw Hurts play a million games, and then obviously transferred out. But I saw him play a million games in college. I never thought he was a deft passer of the football, and I feel the same way about Milroe. But Milroe, like Hurts, brings an athleticism, doesn't he? I mean, big, thick, strong guys, and I'm not just seeing this, right? They're kind of, how they you talk about comps. They're comps with each other, right? I mean, I think they physically look like the same thing.
Yeah, I think Hurts obviously better because he's obviously in the NFL, but I think he had a better career too. Obviously, he won the Heisman, but I think I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? He did. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think Milroe was that good. I thought Milroe was going to have a good season.
Yeah,
I really did. But he didn't.
Yeah. Milroe, he would flash, but he if you flash, that's one thing. You're going up, you're having flashing moments and flashing games, but his floor got too low. You need to flash, but then keep your floor, here. He had some, and Brent Beard is as good as our college football and basketball analyst. Brent Beard's as good as it comes when it comes to talking college football, watching college football, and he's quasi an Alabama guy, and he's never been high on Milroe. He thought Milroe way too inconsistent. When he's good, he's good. He's throwing for 464, but when he's bad, he's bad. And the really good ones, they don't go below that floor. You know what I mean? That floor.
Yep. I thought he was gonna have a chance at the Heisman.
Yeah. And now to his credit a little bit, Alabama didn't have the year. This was I know they were 9-4 and they were close to the playoff, but for Alabama modern football, that's a one-off. They haven't. They lost a lot of games in the regular season. Alabama doesn't do that very often. So the Alabama team wasn't Alabama-esque. But, yeah, I thought Milroe would have a little better season than he did. Good talk. Good stuff about the draft there. But, yeah, it appears Mason Graham. I support the Jaguars taking Mason Graham. I've consistently said the Jacksonville Jaguars, where this team is at, where this franchise is at, they desperately, and I'm not even saying just the first pick. I think maybe the first couple of picks, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have desperately got to go. They need to go big ugly, not big sexy. When I say big ugly means your defensive line, your interior defensive lineman or offensive lineman. Nothing against Travis Hunter, but not a big sexy is the receivers Hunter and McMillan from Arizona, Genty the running back. I don't think this team needs big sexy right now. They need big ugly. I would support Mason Graham. If I was taking the first pick for the Jaguars, I'm going to stick around what I've been saying. I would go with the lineman from LSU, the offensive lineman. I think I would go offensive line first, but it wouldn't. And Ben, I'll let you comment before we go on break. If the Jaguars came to me and said, Terry, you're making our first two picks, you don't necessarily have, let's say, first round, second round pick, our first two picks, Jaguars. You don't have to tell me exactly the guy, but what position. I would say offensive, defensive interior, and offensive line anywhere. I know that's not going to wow the crowd out there that's wearing the teal, but I would go line. I think they desperately need lines of scrimmage help.
Yeah. I mean, it should wow the crowd. I mean, like you said, they need that help. And Will Campbell is definitely good. Yeah. And then obviously Mason Graham is good. Both of them are probably going to be really good players in the NFL.
The problem is I don't think they couldn't get either one of them in the second pick. That's the problem. Now, I also have said all off season when they got slotted at 5, I would damn sure entertain trading down if I was the Jaguars. I would damn sure if somebody gets spooked and says, man, we better go get that 5th pick to get XYZ player. If I was the Jaguars, I would love to work a deal with a team and say, hey, we'll swap picks. But you came to me, I didn't come to you. I want one of your starting offensive linemen. And if I was the Jaguars, boom, I'd bring in a proven starting offensive lineman. And then who knows what the number is. I give you 5, you give me 10, 11, 12. You could get another decent lineman at 11 or 12, plus the starter, the established starter.
Yeah.
But, Ben, as they say all the time, you can't have a trade without a partner. Got to have a partner. You got to have a partner, and you got to.
Shedeur falling and someone really likes him, falling to 5 and someone really liking him, but I don't know.
Great point. I don't know. I don't have the draft in front of me number-wise. But yeah, the New Orleans or somebody at, 10, 11, 12, 13, they like Shedeur, and they're spooked that he's not going to make it to them. So they go, hey, Jacksonville, you want to get out of 5? You want to take our 11? You want to take our starting guard, and we'll swap picks? Yeah, could happen. I'm not a guy that's going to watch the draft for 3 straight days, but I like that first night. I like the first 15, 20 picks. If it gets really late, it drags on, and I'll check it out in the morning. But no, are you a guy that's going to watch the first couple hours on next Thursday?
I watch all the first round, and I basically watch all the second, and then I stop, and then I just follow along. I kind of watch the third too, but after that.
Yeah, and it does get laborious. I'll never forget when they've gone to this 3-day format. I can't tell you how many times I'll be on Saturday, the 3rd day of the draft. Now it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I can't tell you how many years now I'll be out and about doing something, maybe working or socializing, whatever, and I'll kind of look around. It may be like 1 o'clock on Saturday, and you'll go, damn. The draft is still going on.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I always look and see who, obviously I have players I like who will go in the later rounds, and I always keep track of the Dolphins picks. So that's about what I do in the last round.
What did the Dolphins have a first-round pick? I can't recall.
Yeah, 13, I believe. 13 or 12. I think it's 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, they do have a first-round pick. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, after our break, we'll probably be close to our buddy Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated. He's the baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated, and he's very involved with the Philadelphia Phillies. But Kade knows the game of baseball. We're going to take our first little look around. I know it's very early in the baseball season in Major League Baseball, but some trends are starting to happen. Do the Braves have a chance to rally a little bit with their banged-up team? The Dodgers, boy, they jump out 8-0, and they're scuffling a little bit. Other storylines, we'll talk some Major League Baseball on the other side with our buddy Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated. Stay with us right here on the Young and Norvelle Show, coming back live from Hurricane Georgia Creek.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming, from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
All right, here we go. We are back. I do believe had a little bit of a connection issue, but I think we're ready to rock here on a Tuesday edition. We are live coming to you from Hurricane Julington Creek in the heart of Mandarin. You can't get any more Mandarin than this, and you can't get any better wings. You won't find better wings. But don't sleep on the entire menu. I try to tell everybody, do not sleep on the tacos, the quesadillas, the starters, the hamburgers, the Philly steak, a little bit of everything for that person in your party. Maybe they're not ready for wings. They've had wings, but boy, if you go to the wing side here, over 30 flavors of the best wings you will find located right. Here we go. We're getting back here, talking some Major League Baseball. And a little bit later during the show, I'm going to get into SEC baseball. The SEC is about halfway through their season, the regular season. Florida really scuffling. We'll look at the SEC standings in a little bit and see where the Gators, the Seminoles, and the Hurricanes. Man, speaking of baseball struggles, the Miami Hurricanes, man, baseball has gotten away from the Canes down there. They are under 500 and scuffling again. We'll talk some Major League Baseball also, as I promised, with Kade Kistner. At some point tonight or today on the show, I want to also talk about, and I don't want to bury this league, but, man, I don't know why people insist on throwing money in spring football. It looks like the UFL, once again, is just burning money, and they're just not gaining any traction. The attendance is terrible. The the viewership is terrible. Also, topic I want to get to today, going back a few days to the Masters and the world of golf. Rory McIlroy. I mean, now he closed out the Masters Sunday, a wonderful back nine, thrilling back nine on Sunday. McIlroy now one of only, 6 golfers to ever win the career Grand Slam. Got me thinking, this puts Rory McIlroy is a Hall of Fame golfer. There's only been 6 guys to do what he's done. You're right in the Hall of Fame. Also got me thinking about, the Masters, for years, they have ceremonial retired starters. In my wheelhouse, when I was growing up, the 4 ceremonial starters were toward the end of their career once they retired. Snead, Palmer, Nicklaus, and Player. Right now, the 4 ceremonial starters at the Masters, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player still, Tom Watson, and then we have 3. Nicklaus is 85. Gary Player is 89. Tom Watson's 75. So it gets me thinking, this crew is going to cycle out, and there'll be a new ceremonial crew of starters at the Masters. It is a very prestigious position. If you get invited to be one of the starters, you hit the ceremonial first tee ball early on Thursday morning. Listing some guys, they'll be, obviously Tiger Woods will be one. When Tiger is totally retired, he's probably going to go bump around on the senior tour in his 50s. But and Tiger's right at 50 now. He's about to get into the senior tour. We'll get back into that. I think we've got Kade on. Is Kade Kistner there? Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hey, how are you, Terry?
Man, the hell of the Masters. It's time to talk some baseball. How you been, man?
Hey, pretty good. Been traveling quite a bit, and but yeah, it's been a good start to the baseball season, so can't complain.
Let's back up. Two topics I want to kick around with you for a quick split second. Please tell me you were somewhere in front of, if not at Augusta National, back nine Sunday at the Masters. Man, when the Masters is good, it is really good. That was great drama.
Man, I wasn't there this year. I got to go last year, and that was a blast. This year I was absolutely posted up over at my buddy's house outside of Dallas, sitting in his outdoor kitchen by the pool, and watched every single hole between Rory and Bryson. So that was a heck of a Sunday.
Oh, it really was. Like, and you've seen a bunch of them. I've seen a bunch of them. I've never been, but you've been. When the Masters, when the stars align for the Masters, that Sunday back nine is it's as good a sporting event as you can find, and it lived up to it. It really did.
I went to the Super Bowl this year. I would say that it was better than the Super Bowl. It was better than March Madness. I mean, it was everything you want on a Sunday's Master Sunday.
No doubt. We're visiting with our buddy Kade Kistner, baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated. We're going to talk some baseball here in a minute, but staying with the Masters, I tell you, when Roy missed that 3.5, 4-foot putt, to end it on 18, hole 72, man, I wrote him off. I think most people said, man, it's going to be too hard to go back to the tee box and fight off Justin Rose. And then Rose, boy, I felt for him. His approach on the first playoff hole, his approach shot was way better. The shot was better than the end result. I thought he was going to be stiff, and it released on him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, with Rory too. You look at his career; he's had a storied career, but he struggled on the right out the gate, that double bogey, and throughout his career, he's kind of come up short in a lot of these big situations. And going to a playoff hole against Rose, it's like that's Rose was definitely, I think, in my opinion, kind of the favorite there. Especially with that tee shot, and Rory pulled it out. He pulled it out, and so good for him. Grand Slam, and not a whole lot of guys can say that. 5 other guys, and I was really happy for Rory. I actually had my money on him at the beginning of the weekend, so turned out pretty good.
You looked at his final round, and it's got to be rare. His hole number 1 of his final round was a disaster. He opened with a double bogey. And then I know he played an extra hole, but the 18th hole of the same round, you could call it, he missed the 3.5-footer to win it. I mean, it's hard to get that far and have 1 in 18 disasters. I mean, wow.
Not a lot of guys can come back from that.
No, not at all. And, DeChambeau has the Bryson DeChambeau. He has the reputation. He's a little quirky. He does things a little different. His clubs, his swing, his strategy. He's growing on me a little bit. I thought 4 or 5 years ago, I go, who is this wacko, stiff, scarecrow, 10-man? He's growing on me a little bit. I think a little bit of it is, you know what? He's his own man. He said, this is what I do. This is how I do it. It may not be conventional. It was tough to see him. He threw a 75, and he's better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he's done a lot of image rehab, especially the last, 18 months. And, the frat boys love him for sure. He's I guess, a dude's dude, if you will.
Yeah.
But, he's different. He plays the game different. It's a different style of golf, even in the culture sense, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like the guy. He's from the same area of Texas that I am. And
nice.
so, he's, outside of golf, he's a great guy. I did not appreciate, his post round interview where he's like, yeah, well, I wasn't as good as I could have been because I was, I didn't have all my stuff, but which means if he did, I would have won. It's like, well, dude, either you go out there and you play the game and you accept the result, or you don't because you don't have your stuff, right? So
that did sound, Kade, that did sound a little sour grapes-ish.
Exactly.
It really did. But last thing on golf, then we'll talk some baseball with our buddy Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated. Man, if there were 5 more holes on Sunday, the way your boy Scheffler was inching up that leaderboard.
I know it.
And, if he could have got 2 more spots higher on that leaderboard, I think there might have been some shaking in their boots for some guys. He was on the come, wasn't he? He was making a move.
Absolutely. Scotty's my boy. And again, he's right there with, Bryson being from the same part of Texas. And, he's a really good guy. And, it's so funny, we go, well, dang, Scotty had a bad weekend. I mean, he took what, fourth or fifth or something, and he was, it's like, oh, that's a bad round of golf for, Scotty finishing, fourth in the Masters or whatever it was, but he was playing well in the back nine and he was making some ground. Like you said, if there was a little bit longer of a runway, he might have made a move.
I'm not a big NASCAR guy, never have been, but I know a little bit to say. I correlated Scheffler kind of creeping up with, if you're the NASCAR guy back in the day, the last thing you want to do is look in that rearview mirror and there was Dale Earnhardt Sr., creeping up on you.
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
Hey, Kade, I promise we're going baseball. I promise, but you've got Texas roots. You're a Texas guy. There was a little event that was held over a weekend, a couple weekends ago, in San Antonio called the Final Four. I liked Florida about mid-January on this show. After I saw everybody play basketball multiple times this year, I made the statement. I've probably said it 100 times between now, mid-January and a week ago. I thought Florida's the best team in the country, and particularly on a neutral court. What a tough tournament to win. That thing is a grind, man. I was happy Florida won it, but what a grind that whole tournament is. And I heard San Antonio put on an absolute splendid show.
Yeah, I mean, San Antonio is an excellent venue, and again, congratulations on your take and your Gators winning it. It kind of felt like the entire tournament. It always felt like those 4 number 1 seeds were going to end up there, and it was a battle. It was tough, but there's some twists and turns along the way. But at the end of the day, I think you're right. I think the Gators are the best team in the nation. I think it probably would have been a little bit more of a game if Duke wouldn't have blown it there against Houston at the very end. But yeah.
My God, speaking of Houston, my God, you if you didn't follow Houston hard, and I didn't follow them hard, obviously I knew how good they are. Kelvin Sampson, their last 7 or 8 years they've been really close. my God, their signature is defense. God Almighty, they get in your jersey. I mean,
Yeah.
they get in your jersey and make you uncomfortable. They play defense, don't they, the Cougs?
Absolutely. I hear a little Pat Green and Josh Abbott band there in the back. Speaking of
Yeah.
Texas,
How about that? Yeah. Yes. Kade, obviously some baseball talk. I know it's early in the season. Is it too early to really glean a whole lot? I mean, we can bounce around. Dodgers start off red hot. We think they're going 162-0, and don't look now. The Dodgers are in third place in their division right now.
Yeah, they are. And again, kind of going back to what we were talking about, with Scotty Scheffler and the Masters, right?
Yeah.
Like Shohei, I mean, he's hitting the ball well, but he's not being Shohei. But he's
Yeah.
still, I mean, Ohtani is still, one of the top hitters in the league, but he's not doing what he's completely capable of, right? And there's, some pitching concerns and things like that, especially with, Sasaki in there. But I think the Dodgers probably figure it out. It is a long season. We're not super far into it. Maybe
Yeah.
16 games. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard right now. Everyone's about, oh my gosh, Marcus Semien of the Rangers is in this massive slump. He's one of the bottom 15 qualified hitters in baseball, right? Or this or that. Bryce Harper isn't getting hot. Trey Turner's not getting hot. Whatever it might be, and we got to realize that we're in the middle of April. So. There's not a whole lot that can be said. I mean, I think right now teams are starting to figure out what they have, what holes they have in their lineup and in their rotation, maybe in the bullpen. Starting to kind of put that thinking cap on and looking ahead to July for the trade deadline. But right now it's about just getting out there, playing these games, getting these guys on a streak, and seeing what you can do.
Gosh, was it Rafael Devers? I think for Boston. They
Oh,
got like a 0-17. He was distraught on the bench, but it's early.
yeah, I mean, Raphael. I mean, Devers. I mean, he's a great player, and that was one of the worst starts to his career. And again, he went from being everyday third baseman to designated hitter with the addition of Alex Bregman over there in Boston. So
Yeah.
I think there was maybe a little bit of something in his mind with that, right? But at the end of the day, he got back on track, and that's what a lot of these guys are going to do. Especially these stars that are starting off slow. I mean, they have a record of putting it together. So I don't think there's a whole lot to be worried about. And I think the standings as they are right now are going to look a lot different in, say, July and August.
Speaking of position players getting off the slow starts, I know the really good guys that stay healthy and they play all year, they'll have 500 at bats. So there's a lot of at bats. But I'll tell you this, man, as a position player, 0 for 12, 15, 17 to start the season, man, you're behind the 8 ball versus, you know what, you may go 0 for 12 in the middle of the season, but you've already put up some numbers. Man, you start out 0 for 12, 0 for 17, 1 for 20. That's a hard hill to climb back, isn't it?
It is. I mean, look at Jock Peterson over in Texas. I mean, he's 0 for 26, which is the second longest drought of his career, which was 0 for 29 in 2023. And so, I mean, that's a heck of a start right there. And it's hard to kind of claw your way back without maybe taking a breather or two,
You mentioned Sasaki with the Dodgers, the newest, one of the newest arms that they brought over. Yamamoto got off to a little slow start last year. It took him he got roughed up. I think his first start, everybody's like, "Oh my God!" So I guess not panic time. My Braves friends, my Atlanta Braves fan friends, they are panicking. The Braves still banged up. They're still banged up. Terrible start. I guess they've won a couple now lately, and they've had a tough schedule too. They're with Toronto. Toronto was in first place a moment ago, and they had the Dodgers. What's your overall? It's very early. The Braves, Strider, they need to come back. Acuna is going to get another opinion. Where do you see the Braves as a whole right now? And I know it's early.
Yeah, listen, like you said, they're banged up. I mean, it's a talented team. Good coaching staff. The issue for the Braves right now is that they're in a really, really tough division. I'd say it's probably the toughest division in baseball other than the National League West at this point.
Yeah.
And so you've got the Mets in there. You've got the Phillies who are kind of, on a roll right now. And so the only issue is that if you were in any other division in baseball, you can get into a hole and climb out of it, right? You can get a hole early and climb out. But when you have the talented teams that you do in that division, you get a third of the way through the season and you're still there and you're still banged up. Then there's some you have to start thinking about, what is this season going to look like? Are we going to mortgage away the future for a couple guys in June and July and see if that works? Or, hold on and just say, all right, we're going to take third or fourth place this year. So it's going to be an interesting season for the Braves, but you definitely don't want to get in a hole early like they are in that division.
Oh man, it's been more. My Brave fans have been upside down. Friends of mine. Are the Phillies as good as ever? Are there age concerns at all? Some of those guys, getting in their 30s. You cover the Phillies close. Well, give us an overview of the Phillies. Been as good as anybody in the National League for a long time.
Yeah, no, they're looking really good, and kind of like you mentioned, they've got a really good lineup, a veteran lineup. There used to be a thing called the Phillies daycare between, Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott and, some of these other guys. And they're not the daycare anymore. They're 26, 27, 28. You got Bryce Harper in there, Trey Turner. They're looking at extending Kyle Schwarber, which I think would be a good idea. Even, in his, early 30s, mid 30s, JT Realmuto is still, a stalwart behind the plate at catcher. So, and their rotation is looking good. I mean, we're talking about Aaron Nola, who's been the most consistent pitcher in all of baseball for the last 5 seasons, and he's really come out as the number 3 guy. And that's insane. I mean, he's a Cy Young, candidate every single year, and that's your third pitcher. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And they still have one of their best guys that's about to come back from the IL, make his season debut, and Ranger Suarez here pretty soon. I mean, the Phillies are very, very dangerous. I would say that it's probably, if any year they're going to win a World Series, it would be this year.
You mentioned by the way, we're visiting with Kade Kistner, talking baseball. Kade, as good as they get when it comes to covering Major League Baseball for Sports Illustrated. You mentioned the NL West. It's so tough. The Padres, I think, are still on top of that division. They're legit. Talk about the Padres. I mean, they jumped out. The Dodgers 8-0 start. I think the Padres started 7-1 right behind them.
Yeah, and the Giants were right there. The Giants were leading the division for a long time, too. It's a very, very good division. The Padres are an interesting study because, before the season, they were looking at trying to maybe potentially trade Dylan Cease, their ace, that they had acquired from the White Sox. And so I think there was kind of some concern of how competitive the Padres could be this year. And they've turned around and had a really good start to the season. And that's baseball, right? You got to go out there and play the games. And now they're in a position to, make some noise. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think it's the Dodgers to lose. Again, it's early, but, a wild card is absolutely, a possibility. So, and again, the Giants look good with Willie Adames, that addition. He's been killing it. Justin Verlander over the offseason. So, again, and Buster Posey now leading the show over there is their general manager and president of baseball operations. So there's a lot going on in the National League West. It's not just about the Dodgers right now.
Let's jump to, and I'll throw a team out. Give me the overview, and there's a reason I'm throwing this team out. It's selfish. Thoughts, and I think they made the playoffs last. Kansas City Royals.
Correct. Yeah, they made the playoffs. Yep.
What are your thoughts on them? And the reason is I can't wait for Caglione to get called up. He's having a pretty good start to his AA. He's cutting his strikeouts down. And they've got Bobby Witt Jr., who's a star. Jonathan India is struggling, but he's also a former Gator. Kansas City, where will they be? And would a Cags, if they call him up, it'd be after the All-Star break? I know it's very early. He's only played 60 minor league games, I think.
Yeah, so, Kansas City, it's a small market, very young team, very talented team. They have the ability to win that AL Central, which is on the opposite spectrum from the NL West to the NL East, right? It's probably it is the weakest division in baseball. And so they have all you have to do is beat the Guardians, right? So as far as Cags goes, I mean, after the All-Star break is probably in the cards. I wouldn't be surprised if they're in playoff contention. They wait to bring them up in September. A September call up when rosters expand. So, but yeah, the Royals. I mean, you never know with them. And again, a young, talented team that has a little bit of postseason experience now, and you know, they get hot at the right time like they did the last couple of years, and you never know.
You know, I'll call it a bonus baby, an almost can't miss prospect like Caglione in the system. Is it easier for them to get their first call up on a team that's scuffling or a team that's chasing? And I know that may be hard to answer, but you get my point. Is it easier if they were 30 games out, a little bit after the All-Star game? Do you say, hey, let's see what we got, or the other direction?
Well, and that's what I was kind of mentioning. Listen, like if they're scuffling, and he's playing really well in minors, he's tearing it up. I mean, you're going to want to pull him up, you know, in August sometime and kind of see what he's got at the major league level, right? There's nothing to lose at that point. If you're in the chase and you're hunting, right, and then your team is doing well, they're rolling, you're probably not going to want to put a rookie in that type of position and waste the roster space. And that's why when rosters expand in September, that would be a good time to bring them up, especially for, you know, protection on injuries and things like that.
You probably saw, man, Caglione hit a ball like 121.7 off the bat, like the fourth highest ever recorded in any level of baseball. And he's gone, I know it's double-A pitching, but he's gone, 2 or 3 home runs over 460, you know, with a wooden bat.
Yeah, Kate's got power. Got power. No listen.
A little bit. Another, Kate, we'll spend a few more months with you. I love talking baseball with you. You're so knowledgeable. Another big power hitter from our area and certainly from the SEC, Charlie Condon, the Georgia slugger that was kind of a right-handed Caglione at Georgia. He just unlimited power, huge guy. This poor guy cannot get a break. He last year, going into his first minor league few games, he had a real serious finger issue, and I think he either broke his hand or his wrist. Man, it's a shame that Condon, the former Bulldog, can't get healthy because, man, that'd be fun to see when he gets up, the big right-hander slugger and another big left-hander slugger. Do you know much about Charlie Condon?
I actually don't. You know, I've heard of his power. I know where he comes from. But I will tell you this, you know, just as kind of a general tale of caution is that, you know, you can find a lot of success in college, but when you get to that next level and you've got pressure on you and you've got that tag on you as a top prospect, as a power hitter, right? You can go out there and try and do too much, and then you throw an injury in there too, and it can really, you know, baseball is all mental, right? So change the scenery for him and change of expectations. So I mean, that it can get the guys, and then like I said, you throw in an injury in there, and I've seen guys get injured, and it can be a small thing where they miss, you know, 30 games because of a finger or a hand, and they're mentally they're just not the same.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've got this right. I was looking at, you know, putting the show together today, and I like to do some, you know, this date in sports history and things like that. I think today, this date sports history, 1947, Jackie Robinson.
Was that the year you were born, Terry?
Yeah, I remember. I can remember. Yeah, my mom kept the newspaper, so I think Jackie Robinson, his debut, and then this date, 1997, up 50 years later. I think this is the date that Major League Baseball went ahead and retired his number 42 across the board. So kind of a special day. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
And
he was definitely a pioneer and ushered in a new era of the game for us.
And I do believe, wasn't it Mariano Rivera that they let anybody that had 42, they let them grandfather the number. And I think Rivera was the last guy that was standing that still was, you know what I mean?
I believe that is correct. Yeah. So I know the grandfather thing. I think you're right about Mariano there.
Kate, I'll let you go, but I want to throw one more thing out, and I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't know how far you follow college baseball. I know you follow Tulane pretty good, but interesting year here in the state of Florida, man. Florida's scuffling. The Hurricanes are scuffling. Florida State's got the right coach, but interesting year. SEC very strong again, though, top to bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas is number 1 right now.
I know.
Tennessee, I think, is at 3.
Yeah.
LSU is up there at 5. I do follow college baseball. I go to every Tulane baseball game, and I also cover Clemson as well. So, and Clemson's right up there. But yeah, SEC's looking good. It's competitive, and I think the tournament is going to be very interesting this year.
Definitely. Boy, you mentioned Texas. I think we all knew Big Bad Texas and that just powerhouse athletic program. But, man, have they rolled into the SEC and just not really missed a beat. I mean, you see what they did in football.
Yeah. I still think that, they're a great baseball team. I think at the end of the year, the most consistent team so far has really been Tennessee. So that's kind of the one I'm keeping my eye on right now.
Yeah, but boy, Texas has added to an already strong SEC. It's been impressive, and man, a little bit of a blow. Boy, they lost that good point. That guard Johnson, man, what a great basketball player. But he's ready for the NBA, I think.
I think you're right.
Okay, hey man, good stuff, man. You do us a favor every time you come on, man. Just letting us glean off of your knowledge of Major League Baseball, and I really like the fact that you love the game. I mean, you love the game of baseball.
Oh, I love it. I eat, breathe, and sleep it, man.
Where can people follow your work?
You can follow me on Twitter at Kade Kistner, and anything on SI.com MLB. It's all there.
There you have it. That's our buddy Kade Kistner. Let me know anytime I can do anything for you, Kade, and we'll get you on soon. Long, fun baseball season is ahead of us. Have a great rest of your day, buddy.
You too, Sarah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's my buddy Kade Kistner, baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated. Really knows the game. Enjoy just letting him go, man. I hope I don't ask dumb questions. Really, really knows and loves the game of baseball. We've had him on for several years. Met him here in Duval County. Kade used to live here in North Florida. Actually met Kade Kistner talking ball at Sliders, our Thursday home. Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach. Gosh, it was 3-4 years ago. We just get chit-chatting, and he tells me what he does for a living. He asks me, and next thing you know, I said, hey, man. And he was just kind of moving out with a job, I think, out of our area. But really enjoyed our relationship, and I hope you enjoy the baseball talk that he brings. All right, let's wrap up hour number 1. We'll come back. A lot of stuff to talk about. SEC baseball, we'll get into that just for people that aren't sure how it's playing out. We're about halfway through the conference season in college baseball and the SEC. And I want to go over some of these UFL numbers. Man, what a shame. What a shame. People just will not stop throwing money at spring football. And I just think it is a very, very difficult endeavor, particularly since the NFL never thinks there's a money pot in the spring. We'll talk about that. I take a look at some of the sports headlines going on today as well. The Young and Norvelle show continues here on a Tuesday from our Tuesday home in the heart of Mandarin. We're at Hurricanes, Julington Green.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, let me take a quick second as we welcome you back to the Young and Norvelle show here at Hurricanes in Julington Creek here in the heart of Mandarin. I want to tell you, if you're in the market to buy or sell a home here in our area, you want to go with somebody that knows the area, that understands the value, the importance, and they just know the lay of the land when you're looking to buy or sell. Go with the best, a company, Norvelle Realty, that has been doing it since 1986. I know Lee Norvelle, have known him a long time. Same with Patrick Young. You can't find and won't find a more experienced real estate company than Norvelle Realty here in our area. They understand that buying or selling a home is more than just a transaction. It's obviously a life-changing experience for most everybody. It's the largest purchase you will make or sale that you will make in your lifetime. That's why their team of highly seasoned real estate professionals, they're dedicated to providing exceptional personalized service for all of their clients. They take great pride in the relationships that they build. That is how you stay in business a long time in real estate. You have to have relationships that get you referral business because you have satisfied a lot of customers over the years, and that is the case with Norvelle Realty, always working relentlessly on the client's behalf to help them achieve their real estate goals. Norvelle Realty, Norvill, and spell our name a little different. Norvelle Realty, their phone number 904-388-4400, 904-388-4400. That's how you can reach Norvelle Realty, endorsed by Terry Norvelle and Patrick Young, among thousands of others that have been satisfied in our area dealing with Norvelle Realty. All right, back we are here, kicking off the second hour. A couple more topics we want to get into. But before we do, the NFL draft, obviously the Jaguars scheduled now to pick 5th, depending on if they make a move or not, trading some direction. But if they stay at 5, their pick shouldn't be too late. Now, with that said, and I may get our producer, Ben Dobbins, to this is more of a Martha Stewart type, etiquette kind of question. But Ben, I don't know if this is rude of us, but I just started thinking, okay, next Thursday, the NFL draft, what is that, 24th? Next Thursday, NFL draft gets underway. Everybody will be following it. Have you heard, and I'm going to give a free plug because it's going to help plug one of our sponsors in our locations. So the draft is next Thursday. Our Thursday home is always Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach. Okay? Ben, you with me here now? You with me? Okay. Yep. I don't know. I want you to help me out. Is this rude what I'm going to suggest? But so every Thursday, the Young and Norvelle show, we're live on the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach. The Jacksonville Jaguars official draft party will be next Thursday at Lemon Bar. And you're a young buck. You've probably heard of Lemon Bar down at the beach in Neptune Beach. Lemon Bar, and that's the property and the hotel that Shad Khan bought. So I guess that's the time. So the Jaguars are going to have their official draft party next Thursday at Lemon Bar. Sliders is 1 block away from Lemon Bar. Can we not crash the party, but can we kind of, be uninvited guests that kind of, crash the party? People can come over and hang out with us. It's going to be a difficult, I'm telling you. The Jaguars will have been a lot of people come down to their draft party. The beach area. It's a tough park. And getting in, maybe, hey, we will be 4 to 6 right there on the patio. If you want to come early and do some pre-draft warming up, if you know what I mean, come on down, man. Ben, am I being rude here? Am I riding the coattails? Is that rude?
No, I don't think so. I think you're marketing it well, Go
trying to provide a service.
Yeah, exactly. You have to get out there early anyways.
And, I would imagine the Lemon Bar is going to get crowded. Or, again, we're on 4 to 6. When will the draft start? 7:30, probably ESPN will have it 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I think it's 8. It might be 7 now.
Yeah, something like that. So if you want to come on down early, and by the way, you might want to come down early to get a parking spot. So feel free, man. We'll be live next Thursday, as we always are, this Thursday and next Thursday. Our show, the Young and Norvelle show, will be live on the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar. And I'm telling you, the Lemon Bar is as far as I can throw this highlighter right here. I mean, right next to it, basically. So I think we're gonna kind of bogart off their party.
Yeah, it starts at 8.
I just gave them. It's at 8. Starts at 8.
Yeah. So I imagine you have to get there around 6 to be safe.
Yeah, you better get down for parking down early, and if you want to come out and hang out with us on the patio, 4 to 6 at Sliders, stick around, or just then walk on over to Lemon Bar. But I'm telling you, just mark me down. I get down there around 3, so I'll be fine with parking, to set up the show, the gear. We don't have a big setup, but it takes 10, 15 minutes. I like to get down and say hi. But start thinking about it. Obviously, if you are in the area next Thursday and you want to come by our show at Sliders or the draft party at Lemon Bar, if you can possibly ride your bike, do that. I'm telling you, I'm giving that warning because there's a lot to love at the corner where Beach and Atlantic get together. Parking's not one of them. It can be a tough park down at the beach. And Zach, I don't know if they thought of that, though, man. If they bring, wouldn't you imagine 1,000 or so people might converge down there? Good luck with parking down there.
Oh, yeah, even on the weekends, just for the beach.
Good luck.
It's hard to park.
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. I don't know because I'm not in the loop with the Jaguars party planning and all, but maybe there's a closed down Kmart that's not far away. It's got a huge parking lot. I think they will probably try to direct a lot of people, and it's probably, if you park at that Kmart to get to Sliders and or a Lemon Bar, which are basically next to each other, like I said, it's not a quarter mile. It's 600-700 yards. So it is walkable. I think that you got to pay there. I would imagine they're going to really try to direct a lot of the parking into that Kmart parking lot. I don't know if they'll have any type of, golf cart shuttles but it is a very doable walk. It definitely is a doable walk. But you're trying to get really close to the Lemon Bar or Sliders, get down early next Thursday. But come by, say hi. We'll be there 4 to 6. That'll lead you right into the to the draft. So there you have it. Let me take a quick look here at the SEC baseball standings. I know we're slowly getting into baseball season. Remember, Tennessee won the national championship last year. So the SEC kind of rearing their head a little bit in sports, in the major sports. You have the reigning college baseball champion, the Tennessee Volunteers from the SEC. You now have the reigning NCAA men's basketball champion, the Florida Gators. Football, obviously, Ohio State won it, but Georgia got deep in the tournament. Right now, we talked about Texas. Boy, Texas having a great baseball season. They are 13-2. They lead the SEC right now, and they lost a game. Actually, they won a series over Kentucky, but Kentucky won one game. Texas leads the SEC 13-2 in conference play. Arkansas. How about Arkansas? Georgia beat Arkansas in Athens in a 3-game series. Arkansas is second place, 12-3. Tennessee, the defending champions, they are 11-4. They beat Ole Miss at Ole Miss in their weekend series, 2-1 to take it. The real struggle this past weekend at the top of the SEC, LSU. Boy, LSU got swept by Auburn. LSU was in the top 5. They have fallen down now. LSU 10-5. So that's a look at the top of the SEC baseball standings. You may be asking, where the hell's Florida? Gators have really, 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 really struggled this year by their standards. The Gators did just sweep Missouri in a weekend 3-game series, but Missouri's winless in the conference. Missouri is the worst team in the SEC. They are 0-15 in conference play, 12-23 overall. South Carolina, with a new head coach, they're scuffling around at 2-13. Florida is 4-11, and very, very odd for a Florida Kevin O'Sullivan team to be struggling this bad. The Gators 24-14 overall. They did sweep Missouri, and Florida also, before the Missouri series last weekend, they beat Florida State in the 3rd and final regular season game. So the Gators scuffling to a degree, yet they do have a series win over Florida State. Florida, everybody gets into the conference tournament this year. I've said this before. I want to reiterate it. Years gone by, the last 4 teams would not qualify for the SEC baseball tournament. They would just go home if you weren't one of the top, 10 of 14 when it was a 14-team league. This year, for the first time with 16 teams, Oklahoma and Texas now are official members and in the conference. The SEC changed the format of their baseball tournament, and I like it a lot. Number one, everybody goes to Hoover. Everybody goes. And number 2, instead of a double elimination tournament, which it was terrible, you had some of the best teams that didn't want to be out there in Hoover wasting pitching. Everybody makes the SEC baseball tournament, and it's a single elimination tournament. So Florida will get there. The reason I say that is the winner of the tournament gets the automatic bid into the baseball regionals. Florida is right now, if they do not win the SEC baseball tournament, and if they do not get on a really, really big heater, meaning a hot streak, it may be hard for Florida to get it. Their streak of regionals may come to an end. Because the Gators right now, it would be tough for them to get a at-large bid. Kind of the number, you better get to 12, 13 conference wins, and you're probably safe. They're sitting on 15 games into a 30-game conference season. So a lot of work to do for the Gator baseball team. Florida State having a pretty good year. They've run into some issues. They're trying to hold on to their top 10-ish ranking that they've had all year. The Seminoles have scuffled once they've gotten past their ace starter, Arnold, I believe his name is. Florida State's 2, 3, and 4 guys have struggled. They hit the ball well, but, man, they're starting to give up a lot of runs. The Seminoles, though, should be fine in a pretty good conference. They racked up enough wins. The Seminoles should get in for the, second year in a row under Link Jarrett. The Miami Hurricanes are the team that is perplexing. The Canes, Gino DeMari got let go a couple of years ago. Miami has really been non-Miami characteristically the last couple of years. J.D. Arteaga, the star pitcher for the Canes years ago. He is an assistant for a long time at Miami. He's now the head coach. The Canes are under 500, both overall and in the ACC conference standings. Miami possibly will miss the baseball regionals again. Miami's got some issues with baseball. Either they're so historically good. The Canes have won, 5 baseball national championships, I think it is, 4 or 5. Miami's ballpark is antiquated. They really need to get into the game. College baseball parks now, and Florida State is in the same boat a little bit. I could see Florida State renovating or building a new park before Miami, but the Seminoles really struggle as well. Dick Hauser Stadium, Mike Martin Field, is antiquated. It looks and feels like the 90s. Both Miami and Florida State really, to keep up with the Joneses, they've got to address their baseball stadium issues, and that means, cash, obviously. Cash. Florida State going through some strange stuff with where will their home be with their fights with the ACC. Florida, you may or may not know, the Gators unveiled a brand new, sparkling, new, gorgeous stadium. I've been there for one game 3 years ago. So Florida's fine in the arms race when it comes to college baseball, but there is truly, and it kicked in about 5, 6, 7 years ago, there's an arms race going on in college baseball. You see it at the football level. You see it basketball-wise as well. It really has bled. The SEC, if you look around at the SEC baseball stadiums, there are a lot of relatively new, very, very modern stadiums, and your stadium is a big part of your program. All right, let's take another break. We'll come back, kick around some final topics here. I want to get to the UFL. What's going on? Just a struggle, just a big struggle for the UFL. The spring football league that I guess they merged with the USFL, and doesn't seem like anything has really changed. We'll talk about that as we start slowly wrapping up a Tuesday edition. The Young Norvelle Show continues from Hurricanes, Julington Creek, after this quick timeout.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
As usual, having a good time here at Hurricanes Julington Creek. Here's the big menu, man. They have a lot of choices. Certainly when you have wings in the name of your restaurant, Hurricane Grill and Wings, you know their signature item is their wings here. 30 plus, over 30 flavors you can mix and match, from as hot as you can stand it to mild, sweet, all kinds of different sauces here. Don't forget the tacos, a number of great taco choices: grilled steak, avocado taco. God, that thing is good. I've had it before. Chicken BLT taco, coconut shrimp, tiki taco, on and on. Great taco and quesadilla choices here. Hamburgers, obviously, Philly steak, cheese sandwiches, starters, big salads if somebody wants to go that route. Classic bacon and onion burger, all kinds of choices when it comes to burgers. Entrees, including seafood, mahi-mahi, coconut shrimp, island grilled shrimp, fried shrimp basket. Of course, you're going to have great seafood here at Hurricane Julington Creek. Julington Creek is right there. The water is right there. Check it out if you're in the Mandarin area or coming through the Mandarin area. You will not be disappointed. All right, I wanted to turn our attention to a topic that I have kicked around for years. And, there are times, and you can see my shirt here. This is probably really, I know, Ben, you're a soon-to-be UNF graduate, and Ben producing our show today. Yeah, I noticed you haven't said anything. You're a UNF guy. You haven't said anything about the classic shirt I've got on here. Jacksonville University. You've probably heard of a private institution of higher learning. I like to call it the Harvard of the South. Jacksonville University. No comments about my shirt here, Ben?
Not much to comment about. I mean, beat them twice in basketball.
Harvard, you shut your filthy mouth. Who won? JU won twice? No?
UNF won twice this year.
But didn't JU went further in the tournament, though, in their conference tournament?
Both being out.
A little bit further.
Both staying home.
Yeah. I oughta. But being the smart guy that I am, obviously, JU, I try and impart my wisdom whenever I can, and for free. A lot of times I'm not going to charge you a consulting fee. If I did, why would the people, and most recently, Ben, the guy that tried is Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. he has put a lot of his own money, investors' money, in spring football. Spring football has been tried for decades. It really doesn't work, and I've seen them try every which way. To me, if you're not named the NFL, I just don't think spring football is ever going to work. If the NFL, nobody prints money easier than the NFL. They know what they're doing. They're smart as hell. The NFL, Ben, they've never dipped their toe into spring football, which tells you a couple of things. Number one, I think they think it's not lucrative. The NFL loves money. Don't ever think the NFL doesn't love money. If they thought they could truly make money with some type of spring football, they would be doing it, number one. Number two, I think this is very important for the NFL as well when it comes to spring football. I think the NFL, the smart people that make up the National Football League, I think they realize and value their fans having some downtime. And Ben, I don't know if you can process that, but I think the NFL, does our country love football? Yes. Football is the dominant sport. But there's a saturation point. I think the NFL also sees great value in not having their fan stay engaged as a fan February, March, April, May, June. I think the NFL really believes that taking their product away, the actual games, is good for the regular season. I think the NFL has figured out their fan base needs to catch their breath. And they need to kind of get away from the game and then get hungry again for the game. And I think that happens. We see that happen. So with all that said, once again, probably for the 20th year in a row, I have implored currently the UFL, Dwayne Johnson, dude, if you must try this, you're going to fail again. You're going to lose gobs of money. But the answer is, if you're that stubborn, save your time. At least save your time. If you're going to give your money away, just take a lighter and light your money on fire and let it be done in a few minutes. Why waste weeks spinning your wheel? It's just not going to work. Here are the most recent numbers, attendance-wise, from week 3, UFL, the 4 home games. There's 8 teams. They play 4 home games a weekend. Arlington, the Arlington team at home drew 8,411. Birmingham, 12,265. Michigan, 6,952. San Antonio, 11,790 fans. Now, I don't have this for a fact, but I'm pretty confident in saying that if you took out freebie tickets, I bet you there are a lot of freebie tickets. Those numbers are terrible. Week 3, they averaged 9,855 fans. You can't make it. You just can't. That is down. Week 1, they had 11,400 average. The numbers just aren't there. The numbers, the TV ratings are way down from last year. It's just, unless the NFL and or major college football somehow got involved, no other league's going to. You're just burning your money. Now, why is it? I hate to throw things out and not have answers, or at least I hope good theories. I've said this for years. Here's the biggest obstacle. And Ben, I'm going to learn you if you're still back there listening. I'm going to learn you here. The biggest obstacle, and I've got a list of multiple obstacles that will make spring football does make spring football so difficult. First and foremost, the biggest opponent that spring football, such as the UFL, which is going on right now, the biggest opponent they fight, and they're not going to win this fight, is, you ready for it? You ready for it? The spring. The season known as spring. Look around. Think about last week and the week before, the weather. Think about today. Think about where we're going the next month or two. The first obstacle is most of us, even down south, most of us, the last 4 or 5 months, we've had fall and winter weather and cold, and still up north, it's still cold weather, dreary weather. That's what the fall and the winter is. Well, number one, we've all been pinned up, particularly up north. You've been pinned in the house. Yeah, it's too cold to go outside, too cold to do any activities, too nasty, too dreary. The first obstacle spring football has is it's springtime. People want to get out and do the things that they have not been able to do for the last 5 or 6 months. So it's springtime. That brings golf back into the mix, right? You've got guys that put their clubs up 5 months ago, 6 months ago. It's bad weather. All of a sudden, spring is here. Golf is back in the game. Boating is back in the game. Little League for your kids, Little League and both boys and girls, that's back in the game in spring, summer. Projects. Think about projects around the house. Wifey's been complaining and bugging you. We need to paint the outside of the house. We need to build our deck we've talked about. We need to do this landscaping. On and on. Well, you're not going to do the projects in the ugly, dreary fall or winter. Honey, we'll get around to it in the spring. Well, it's time to pay the piper. You said you were going to get around to it. Instead of going to a spring football game, you need to build that deck you promised wifey, or paint the house, or paint the spare room, or add a hunt. So projects. How about just going to the beach and the river or the lake? How about spring, summer, on the weekend, everywhere around the country? It's festival season. Festivals everywhere. How about spring and summer? It's concert season. So think of all the activities that we have all gotten away from, but when spring rolls around, you get back into golf and boating and Little League and projects and springtime and beach and festivals. And, well, trying to tell wifey, hey, let's load the kids up and go to a football game in March, a spring football game in April, May. No, you just spent 6 months going to football games. You just spent 6 months sitting in your living room watching football game after game. That's what you're fighting. And that's a hell of a fight. Ben, I don't know if you took any of that in. I don't know if you learned anything. What do you the spring is a big opponent for spring football. Too many things are out there that you haven't done that you need to get around to. Hey, Ben, imagine if you get married, right? You're not married yet, right? Imagine you get married. You've talked wifey into buying a boat, okay? And y'all buy a boat. Nice investment. You spend a lot of money. You enjoy boating. Well, in the fall and the winter, that boat's put up, right? Yep. But you still spend a lot of money on that boat. Here comes the spring rolls around, and you try to say, hey, wifey, let's go to the spring football game. No, honey. No. We've done football the last 6 months. No. You need to get that boat out in the water, or we need to sell it. Why did we buy it? Well, you got to get on your boat. Did you hear my dissertation, Ben? And what are your thoughts about it?
I agree that it has some aspect, but I think the main aspect of why it kind of fails is because you've said it before. If you add an expansions team to the NFL, there's just not enough players to play.
Quality.
Yeah, it's quality of players. Like, I've watched quite a bit of spring football from the AAF, if you remember that league, to when they had an Orlando team. I went to a bunch of their games. League. Yeah, I went to a bunch of those games, and it's just the quality is just bad. I mean, I like watching it. Hey,
man, you hit a home run right there. And I one more aspect I hadn't got to, and here's my list that I have already put together. The quality of player, why go pay? These are guys that played a little college ball. They're 28, 29, 30. They weren't good enough to play the NFL. Here are some of the quarterbacks from the UFL, and I made the list earlier when I was putting the show together. Here are some of the quarterbacks that why would you go pay to see these guys? Anthony Brown, Danny Etling, I think he played at Purdue. Anthony Brown, I think, played a little bit at Duke. E.J. Perry, I think he was a washout at Miami, the Canes. Manny Wilkins, barely remember the name. Matt Corral, good quarterback in college at Ole Miss. But you saw him at Ole Miss when he was 22. Why go see him at 29 when he's just bumping around? Luis Perez, I think, is one of the better quarterbacks. Kellen Mond, you remember him? He played 4 years at Texas A&M. Why would you go pay money to see Kellen Mond at 28 now?
I've watched a
Bryce
lot of
Perkins.
Kellen Mond. He looks awesome.
Yeah, no, and I remember, everybody remembers him from Texas A&M. He was a college quarterback, but why would you keep following these guys? They're not going to go to the NFL. They're not. Nolan Henderson, don't know who he is. Jordan Tamu, I remember him from Ole Miss, kind of an athletic quarterback. All the things you're fighting, plus the level of play is not good. And some people have asked me, I've talked to friends about this before, and I had one friend ask me make a fairly decent statement. He goes, well, Terry, using your theory about the players aren't worth spending money, you've always seen them in college. Why would you go see Matt Corral or Danny Etling from Purdue? And a buddy of mine one time said, well, Terry, minor league baseball, we go down to see the jumbo shrimp. That's not Major League Baseball. Well, keep in mind, minor league baseball, those players tonight, if the jumbo shrimp were playing a game tonight downtown, both teams, the opponent and the jumbo shrimp, those players are current professional guys that the major leagues have invested money and they're trying to develop. They think those guys, and they're 22, 23, 24, 20, they think these guys have their best baseball ahead of them. They were drafted because they major league, you know what I mean? These are legitimate prospects. Now, a lot of them won't make it because it's a numbers game. But these guys were the best of their high school, of their college. They are professional baseball players that professional organizations have sunk money into, and they still think they could turn it around. That's the difference. These guys are just hanging on. This league is a hang-on league, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's some players, but it's mainly the two people I can think of are kickers, Brandon Aubrey and Jake Bates, that came to the NFL and are doing well in the NFL. But, I mean, you have, like, Cavante Turpin, I think that's the guy, who return man for Dallas. He's been looking good, and he came from Spring League. But I can't think of too many other people. Hakeem Butler, he had a good UFL season a couple years ago, but he didn't look good in the NFL when he went.
Yeah.
It's just, like you said, they don't have – you need to have younger players, I think. I think you're right with that. Younger players that has potential to be in the UFL and not these old people that you've already seen and know they're not going to be good in the NFL, like Matt Corral, for example. Or
you're like, why are you investing your time and money in this league? And again, you've spent 6 months doing football, right? And generally you're pinned inside. Man, I'm telling you, the biggest issue is it's hard to fight spring. I mean, just look outside. Oh my God. You know, you hadn't had, hey, those golf clubs haven't been out. Well, the golf clubs get pulled out now. The boat gets put into the water now, right? The house project that you couldn't do with the bad weather, well, it's springtime. Wifey's going to say, hey, it's time to do the, oh, by the way, I didn't even mention, all of a sudden, for the first time in 4 or 5 months, you've got lawn work to do on Saturday or Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Believe me, I know.
During the football season, for a lot of the months, nobody's lawn's growing. There's no lawn work to do, right? Now it's growing like a wildfire, right? You know? All right, there we go. Let's get out of here. Let's take our final break here. We'll come back and kind of put a bow. Been a fun show. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed bringing it to you here, the Young and Norvelle show from our Tuesday home. You know it by now. Hurricanes in Julington Creek. We'll come back, set up the rest of the show, and talk a little bit about tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll visit with Dr. Aaron Bates, our sports medicine discussion from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Coming back, wrapping things up on the other side. Stay with us right here on the Young and Norvelle show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Okay, here we go. Slowly wrapping up. It's a Tuesday show that has been a lot of fun. It's always fun here at Hurricanes in Julington Creek. Wonderful location, great food, great hangout. They'll have trivia. They have trivia after us on Tuesday. It's about 7 o'clock. It's a quick trivia. You'll be in and out if you want to come out and play a little trivia. You may win some house cash, have a meal, have a drink, and just have some fun with trivia. They do a good job. They've been doing trivia on Tuesdays since we've been out here for a long time. Fun neighborhood hangout. You come up here with the fellas if you want, watch some ball, bring the family, bring the ball team. It's a staple here in Mandarin. Hurricanes in Julington Creek, our Tuesday home. Resetting the rest of the week. Tomorrow we'll be in studio. Our Wednesday show, 4 to 6. Join us tomorrow. We'll have Brent Beard on. Looking forward to Brent's contributions as always. Dr. Aaron Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Man, a lot of, I think because baseball is really in swing as well right now, a lot of injuries out there, a lot of baseball injuries. So unfortunately, injuries are part of sports. We'll have Dr. Bates on and talk about some of the injuries, including one of his thoughts on, there's a pitch count now, as the Jaguar brass have said with Trevor Lawrence. It's his non-throwing shoulder that he's had a couple of surgeries on. I want to talk to Dr. Bates about the even though it's a non-throwing shoulder, you think that's good news, and it is. It's much better than the throwing shoulder. But some people may say, well, why can he not throw? It's this non-throwing. Well, think about the act of throwing a football. The torso twist and the shoulder rotation. When you do that, and Dr. Bates will explain it some, we'll get him to explain it, those shoulder muscles, even in the non-throwing shoulder, those muscles fire, man. Think about throwing a football and the torque and the twist. Those non-throwing muscles will fire, and I think, obviously, during the healing process, rehab process, you've got to get off. You don't want to do that at all. I bring that up to compare it with DJ Lagway. He's got throwing shoulder issues. And I mean, Napier's been very, very quiet about this, barely talked about it. But certainly if Trevor Lawrence is on the shelf for a little while and on a pitch count with a non-throwing shoulder injury, and I know he had surgery a couple of times. I don't think Lagway's had it yet, but boy, I think Gator Nation's going to be very, very uneasy until sometime in August. There are a lot of highlights from practice, from scrimmages even, going into the regular season with DJ Lagway throwing the football and ripping the football, because Florida will not have anywhere near the season they hope to have with DJ Lagway out. So that's tomorrow. Brent Beard. I want to also, I expect Brent, the next several times we visit with Brent, we do him a lot of times on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think Brent's going to be loaded up with some news. The portal in college football is open tomorrow. The portal in college basketball is currently open. Football, I think, has a 10-day window starting tomorrow. Basketball goes another 20 days maybe or so. So they're going to overlap. I think we're going to have a lot of news and a lot of roster news in both college football and basketball over the next couple of weeks. And I think we have to. You really have to. I mean, the portal is now a building block for both football and basketball. I think Florida basketball will have 2 or 3 additions to their roster. They've had some attrition, which was expected. Some guys deep on the bench have freed up some scholarships. I think Florida football will get in the game a little bit. Same with FSU and Miami. It's also going to be interesting to see where Nico lands. He will play. Nico, in my opinion, will be throwing footballs in regular season games next year. He will not be sitting out. He'll find a home. It will not be the SEC per their rules. But I think Nico, certainly it'll be interesting to see where he lands and all the fanfare that will get. Nico, I don't think he sought this out, but he's kind of the guinea pig. He's the first holdout. I can remember saying to people that get used to it. College football is really college pro football. A lot of things you see in the NFL will happen at the college level, and I threw out holdouts. I've thrown that out for a while. So I think it's the way of the way of the land. We went over Oyster Bar, so make plans. Come by, say hi on bar if you like. They are one apart. We hope to see. Ben, I'm going to go ahead and chuck it out of here. I'm not positive on the and I really enjoyed your work and job producing today's show. Thank Kistner. We had on earlier with some great baseball talk as well. And of course, you folks for watching. And let's work back together tomorrow for the Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle. I hope you can join us. We expect to have Patrick Young checking in as well. Patrick busy this time of year. We should have a lot of notes a little bit early, possibly. We'll be back together tomorrow. Join us 4 to 6 for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com and